Why do you think some people claimed that GamerGate was about harassment or hating women?
Because it all started with the Zoe Quinn thing. As we all know, the Five Guys burgers and fries bullcrap that first started, and we all found out about that. But this is one thing they never say. She's been notorious in the past with a lot of shit other than just the controversy she was originally in. She made up lies in the past and stuff. So, like I said, it was a slow fuse that was ready to explode. It was like a slow buildup of powder, and there's going to be one fuse that was going to happen. And it was that post, I think it was Eron Gjoni that posted about her infidelity and things like that. And the poor guy went to jail for I don't know how long.
Wait, did he go to jail or did he
Oh,
have like
he
a
went to
lawsuit?
jail. No, he went to jail for like I don't know how long because she pulled this bullshit in the court case, and then she finally stopped it after a while. But I mean, it was horrific what she did to him. Not only did she throw him through a lot of shit and stuff, she lied about a lot of things. She even led a man to suicide with their lies. Like
Allegedly.
allegedly, yes. But I'm just saying, an innocent person lost their lives allegedly. Is how I put it. I know that's allegedly, but ugh, that was the point when I look back at it. I'm like, yeah, it seemed right fighting against these people, but damn, you look back at it and stuff. But she was a problem causer all the time. She said people didn't like my games because of this or that, and she faked a bunch of things. That's what the building of the powder cake was. She was faking a lot of things, and then it just exploded. I think it was Depression Quest. Was that what she made?
Yeah.
Okay, it was Depression Quest. She caused a lot of controversy about that. It's like and I know a lot of people that said this. It's Review Tech USA famously said this about the harassment. He's like, if this is false and you brought your movement back, if I'm hoping what's going on here is true, because if you're lying about this, you will bring your movement back by 100 years. Is basically I think how Review Tech USA put it, because he's like, I don't know if there are losers because I've seen those losers before. Yeah, it, I remember that one.
Do you think people did
People,
harass? Go ahead. You can finish.
there are people that harass everybody in general. There are internet trolls everywhere. We all know that. There's some fringe lunatics. That that will never change. You will never let the internet is a way for crazy people to show their true colors.
You said that for you, Gamergate was mostly about ethics in games journalism. So why do you care that much if Zoe Quinn does bad things?
Because what she was doing was the problem that she did was when she was with the game journalist and he was writing an article about her. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Isn't that the games journalist's fault though, not hers?
Yes, it is his fault. I mean, and this is something we all said up one time. She could have been a hero to everyone if she would have said, yeah, this happens. Sometimes we have to do things like this in order to get exposure. She would have done that. There would have been no way in hell she had a chance to say those words and say, yes, a lot of women that are game developers have to do things like this. If she would have said it like that, everything would have been back on this guy who was part of the controversy, not her. But I mean, though, it's how everything was executed. It was just it. Like I said, it was a slow powder cake that went on that started back in the mid 2000s. I think wasn't that when Canon Lynch came out, or was it 2008, 2009?
Let me look real quick.
Because that's when
2007.
2007. That's when they started putting powder cakes in. They were putting the powder cakes up. Is right around that time. That's when the first controversy happened. I mean, there was controversy long before, like Night Trap and all the controversy that kicked up, the Senate hearings and stuff. But it was a slow buildup, and it was gonna explode no matter what. Even if it wasn't Zoe Quinn that did it, it's kind of like World War One. It was a slow buildup of tension, and someone cut the wire. Basically, an assassination led to World War One. A stupid thing about Zoe Quinn led to Gamergate because of it being involved with the journalist that wrote an article about her around the time of the said affair.
Some people who disagree with Gamergate say that the real Gamergate was the people who wanted to harass her, and like they just duped, or the people who cared about ethics or creative freedom and stuff like that, or even just culture war bullshit, that those people were basically just dupes for the people who really wanted to fuck with her.
Uh, there's going to be trolls everywhere. I'm going to say that. There's trolls everywhere. No matter what, there's going to be trolls, and you have to learn how to handle it. But what she did, her actions, the actions and what she did was not good. And it wasn't just people that wanted to troll her and stuff, because originally most of us thought of we're not even going to get involved with this. Like, that's for the longest time. That's how I viewed Sarkeesian. It's just, okay, it's just someone putting her opinion out there. It's nothing new. And that's how I always was. And then I saw, because I used to follow Kotaku, and I'm like, why are they acting this way? What is going on? That's what really I've heard about it from Monday Matt and Review Tech USA originally, but then I was like, okay, so what? And then I heard Kotaku kept running their mouths, and I'm like, guys, I don't want to hear that. Please talk about what you guys are being paid to talk about, not stupid shit like this. That was me. I was like, okay, I'm done talking about this shit. Please talk about something good for a change,
Do you
or
think
talk about something different for a change. But no, the game's journalist wouldn't shut up about Gamergate, and that's what irritated me the most.
you discussed earlier, and we don't have to dive into this at all if you don't want to. I don't, if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, or just like, hey, look, I'm running out of time. We don't have to talk about it.
Mhm.
But there's an argument that people, because they were mad about the stuff in gaming, the corruption, the censorship, whatever, or maybe just like Anita Sarkeesian's opinions, that they became radicalized. And you talked a bit about your own experience, how you were getting angry about this stuff,
Mhm.
and it wasn't a healthy path to go down for you.
Oh no.
So do you how do you think about that in relation to Gamergate? That radicalization or that anger.
Oh, it's bad in my opinion. Personally, I did not like what happened after a while. I mean, when it first came out, a lot of us were just like, okay, what the hell? For me, for instance, personally, it was, what the hell are you talking about, Kotaku? What the hell are you talking about, Polygon? You're trying to paint everyone like this, and it's like, no, we're not like this. And that's what drove me into it originally, was just sick and tired of hearing the bullshit that Kotaku and Polygon tried painting us as. It was just a slow buildup of stuff like that that just slowly started piling up on each other until it exploded, like the powder keg. Like I always say, there's a powder keg.
So you think a lot of it was the way that they talked about Gamergate and said things that you felt were untrue?
Yeah, big time. Like the whole thing. Remember Stop Gamergate 2014?
I
Remember
wasn't
that?
around back then, but I've heard of the
Oh, I
hashtag.
mean, what happened was Sarkeesian was supposed to give a debate at a college. I forgot where, Utah or something like that. I'm not sure where, but she was given, like, not a debate, but a panel that she was going to handle and do a discussion with people. And then some idiot said, I'm going to send a threat, like a, I think it was a bomb threat or a shooting threat. Forgot which one it was, but it was a threat that they were going to hurt a lot of people if she was there. And what did it do? It gave those people that hated Gamergate ammunition to go after most of us. Are like, wait a minute, we're not like that. what are you guys talking about? We don't say that stuff. But it was just a slow build up, and it was a shit. It was a dumpster fire for GamerGate during the GamerGate times, where it was like, I can't describe it. It was just a dumpster fire altogether.
How important was it to you that bad actors were condemned?
I mean, yeah, bad actors had to be condemned. I I'm not going to side with people that are complete total mess ups. I'm not going to side with screwed up people. That would be wrong. So yeah, I stand with the whole the bad actor should be condemned. I That's my thought as well. Like the bad actor should be condemned, but I'm gonna charge her. But no, it was just there was a lot of issues, and I remember hearing about it. People were trying to find who sent that threat. I remember that one as well, and I think Mr. Repsion was targeted by the FBI because of that. I think that's the one.
Now, to be clear,
Was
he
it him?
didn't do it. I don't think
I know he
it was someone
didn't,
fucking with
but
him.
it was, yes, it was, and the FBI had to take it, which is 100% understandable. I have family and friends who are, or some family that are in the FBI and friends who've worked with them before. So I understand they have to take it seriously because it's their job to take something like that seriously. Because that's something that's something you cannot you cannot just push aside. So I understand the investigations, but I mean, though, a lot of, how do I put this? A lot of just a lot of shit was thrown in every way. I wouldn't even want to be the FBI agents assigned to this case because of all the shit they had to look through. It's like, oh, hey, this was said. Oh, wait, no, this was a lie. Okay, this person said this. And no, wait, that's true. This is not true. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back of fake doxing. I think there was a GamerGate meetup in DC. Do you remember that one?
I didn't go to that one, but Christina Hoff Sommers told me about it, and I knew about it at the time.
Oh yeah, there was this thing that happened there, and they were all together and stuff, and they wanted to do a big meetup. All of them were there. Everyone was there, and then suddenly they had a bomb threat, and it was soon after what Arthur Chu posted. It ends tonight, and oh man, the memes of that
Oh,
idiot.
no, to clarify, there may have been a bomb threat at the DC meetup, but that was a separate bomb threat
No,
from the
I'm
one at SPJ Airplay where Arthur Chu made the
Yeah,
tweet.
no, it was no. He said it during that event. I remember that because we were talking about it. We had a voice chat up, and we were talking about things like that. We're like, "Oh, they're doing this thing. Let's look up." And we're just randomly talking about the images that they were posting. Uh, I forgot who it was. That's how long ago it's been. And then like the Arthur, she was annoyed that they were having this get together, that they were having this party with a bunch of the pros that are all together. And he's like, this ends tonight. He posted that one, and we're like, what the hell do you mean by that, man? And then we find out later on that a bomb threat. We don't think he did it, but I wonder. I wouldn't have been surprised if he had a knock at the door because of that line, because they were like less than a mile away from the White House where that venue was, and
Arthur,
then there was.
are you
Go ahead.
sure? Are you sure it wasn't the
no,
SPJ Airplay?
no, it was because this happened before Airplay. This happened like a couple months, like 5 months before Airplay, I think, where it was just they did not like the idea of Gamergate getting together and talking like that, meeting each other in person. He's like, it ends tonight is what he said. That's what he meant by when it ends tonight. And it was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And we're like, did he just call in a bomb threat? Like, we were like, wait, did he just call in a bomb threat? And we were looking at like, there was probably some fringe lunatic that did it, but it happened like slightly after when he said it ends tonight. Like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't the investigator of the thing or anything like that, so I don't know who said it. I'm not going to accuse him of it because we're not sure. We're not sure who's saying what, but it happened during that event, and they all had to evacuate out of the building at that time. And the event organizer says, "I might not have the same. I do not. I do not agree with things like this. This is not something that should happen. No matter how much they disagree with you, they should not be dating threats like this." And it was that point where they became they accused us of doing the things that they just did. That was the moment we realized they're basically portraying, they're basically amplifying their own problems onto other people. I thought it was, yeah.
Do you
I
think
can't.
most? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you think do you think most GamerGate people did a good job condemning harassment?
Oh yeah, we all did. I mean, most of us did. How about that? Like we said, like it's like you might, if you want to criticize a person, but don't jump on their group and don't jump on their and just insult them for every little thing they had. Don't just don't try to just don't go overboard is how I thought of it. And these people went beyond overboard. A lot of people did. Like when they, it's just what happens when the extreme pendulum shifts one side, or when the extremist of the far of one side of a group just starts. Yeah, it's just what happens when the extreme groups come out. They say stupid shit.
If you saw someone on your side, quote unquote, doing something you thought was bad, like engaging in harassment, what would you do?
Do what I did with two of them. I'm not going to give names or anything, but I literally condemned two people in the pro side that I've seen do it, harass a 14-year-old boy because he says, "I don't think what you're doing is right." And then they went to "you're fat, you're fat, you're fat" jokes or stuff like that. And it's like, dude, you're no different than they are. You're no different than the opposition is. And it was like, that was like one of the moments of when I realized, okay, these people are extreme. I'm not going to name them by name or anything because I don't want to give them any attention, but they bullied and harassed a 14-year-old boy that was in our group. And they actually, instead of criticizing him for things he said, they just went to fatty, fatty, fatty jokes. Yeah. I have criticized our own people.
You don't have to answer or talk about it, but
I
did you
know, but I'm just
Oh, so I was about to ask you a question. Sorry.
go right ahead.
You don't have to answer or talk about it, but did you receive any harassment during Gamergate from either
Not
side
really,
or from
no.
trolls?
Not really. I've never faced it. I've seen it happen to other people. I've known it happen to other people. I've been trolled a few times by the people I've condemned for their actions against a 14-year-old boy and what they said to him. Yeah, I faced backlash from those two people, but I've never faced it from the SJWs. We might have had a few disagreements, but never faced it. And I will say that I never faced the type of harassment that these other people have. And I'll admit that. I've I've never faced harassment, but I understand how it could affect people.
Why do you think the media largely didn't cover harassment against Gamergate supporters?
It's the same way they were talking. They wanted. I forgot her name and stuff, but there's one girl that ABC News took uh, videos from her live stream and stuff about losers just saying just dumb things and stuff like that. And her posting it saying, "Yeah, this happens a lot to me as well." And we all know these people because we played games with these losers before. Trust me, I know. I played like a lot of like like either Gary's mod games and stuff like that, and just seeing what these losers say and stuff. Yeah, they exist and stuff, but what happened was she said to ABC News, that's not what it was about. It wasn't about misogynists harassing me. It was about just me dealing with these idiots. And that's what she said. And you know what ABC said in the process? I think it was ABC. I'm not sure. Don't praise me there by saying this, but it was they said this word right here. It's not part of our narrative. And that's what I think of what the media is trying to do. Why the whole thing with Gamergate is the way that it is. Because they don't want it to be part of their narrative.
Do you have any thoughts on? Do you remember ZachAttack?
Oh, where they thought what was her name? Base Mom, I think.
No,
No,
Mombot.
Mom Bot, that's it. They thought her name was Zach and it really wasn't. And she literally set a trap up for these idiots. I remember that. Literally exposed the doxers right there. That was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen in GG was when they actually exposed the doxers.
Do you remember the term sealioning being used to describe Gamergate people, and what do you think of that term?
I forgot about that term. I remember hearing it, but I forgot about it.
Do you want me to bring it up for you, or do you just want to move on?
Sure, go right ahead. I forgot about it. That's how long ago it's been.
I'll describe in brief. Basically, it's the idea that someone makes a public statement in a public
Mm-hmm.
forum, someone else overhears that statement and politely disagrees, but they are very insistent in their disagreement.
Mm. Lame. I mean, there are some idiots, but I remember hearing the word sea lion, but I never understood what it meant. Personally, it wasn't something I always thought of.
Thank you for watching another Gamergate book video segment. For 30 days, starting on December 9th, I'm running a Kickstarter campaign for this project, so please back the campaign for the people of Gamergate on Kickstarter or at gamergatebook.com. This project investigating and documenting the history of Gamergate from a variety of perspectives requires your support, and I appreciate it. Thank you.